you have grown your corpus from 12 lakh to 1 crore in just 3 years. आपने ये कैसे achieve किया?
Invest in stocks companies that you use daily. When I bought Meta, Facebook, the first stock I bought was for $100. Right now it is at $783 or something like that. Netflix I bought at $300. Right now it is at $1,300.
So what kind of research you do for US companies?
My way of investing is like I pick a theme and I bet on that theme. For example, the next generation would have a way better luxury life than what we are currently living. So they would have a higher spends on food, they would have higher spends on dining, higher spends on like dress, clothes and all. So you can bet on that consumer behavior.
So just curious, while researching, do you also check debt to equity ratios, P ratios or all the technical ratios?
No, I don't look into that. अगर वो debt वेट सब देख लिया होता तो इतना return नहीं आने वाला होता. I bet on my research that more than numbers.
So what is your target corpus?
In the next 4 years, I want to reach.
Hey Harshvardhan, welcome to Power Up Money podcast.
Thank you so much for having me here.
Thanks a lot for coming here. First of all, I would directly jump into your Reddit post where you have claimed that you have grown your corpus from 12 lakh to 1 crore in just 3 years. And now, like I, and in fact, everyone is curious, like, आपने ये कैसे achieve किया?
So maybe before I get into it, I'll just tell you the current breakup of that 1 CR, how it looks like. So out of that 1 CR, 63% is in US markets. Another 25 to 26% would be in the Indian markets, Indian equity plus mutual funds combined. 4% is in gold, like physical gold. 3% is in EPFs and all, and then 1.5% is in cryptocurrency and all. So this is how the current allocation is. Like it might look like, okay, I'm like more inclined towards US markets and all, but that's not the case. It is just same amount of money in both the markets. It is just US markets that are 89 to 90% like returns overall.
Okay, so first of all, I would love to double down on the US market part. Like, how do you actually pick US stocks? I mean, there are obviously most common stocks, Netflix, Facebook, Apple. Apart from that, what kind of a research or what kind of a companies do you prefer to pick?
When I started really getting into stocks, that's when I read this book, like Peter Lynch book, The Wall. Like, so there's a book by Peter Lynch, like I'm not exactly able to remember it.
One Up on Wall Street.
One Up on the Wall Street, right. Yeah. So there's a very good statement that person says that, you know, like invest in stocks, companies that you use daily. So I took that as a verbatim. I started using it. Like I was like, okay, then I just sat and I checked, okay, what are the companies I use? And I did not think of US, Indian, like any kind of market. I was just thinking, okay, like what are the things I use on a daily basis? I saw that, okay, I'm using a Mac, I'm using an iPhone, I'm wearing a Nike, I'm like drinking Starbucks, and then in general I was like, okay, I use Amazon. And then I made a list of US market, US companies and then Indian companies and all. Then I was like, okay, like this sounds like a good list. And then I thought, okay, which are the companies that I think have a future? Like for example, I always think that Apple is a great innovative company. Like while there are a lot of hates for Apple, but I still think they are the one who bought a lot of great products that have changed the way people think. Like take AirPods, like people were like, oh, no one is going to use AirPods and stuff and all, but now every company has copied the model. Similarly with Apple Watch and so on. So that is when I thought, okay, like let me start taking bets. So I started putting some amount of money in US markets and all. I did not think so much, okay, like this market, that market. Like I was very new to thing, and I was very clear that I don't want to take any guidance in the initial stage. I want to explore myself. I'm okay losing money, but I want my own perspective before I start taking mentorship or like actually reading content and all. So I started putting in US markets, and initially 3-4 months I did not see a lot of returns, but then the ChatGPT picture came into place in 2023. Like initially I think 2023, and then I suddenly saw Microsoft, a couple of companies growing. That's when I saw, okay, like I had put some $2,000 and that $2,000 was already at a 25% profit. I was like, wow. And then I was thinking, okay, like Indian में तो आई इतना साल से डाल रहा हूँ, कुछ आया ही नहीं है. So then I was like, okay, that's when I started reading more about it. People started talking a lot about AI and all. Like whenever I used to read the US reports, like New York Times or a couple of newspapers, they all used to talk about AI and all. So that's when I started researching more about AI, and then I started investing a lot in AI companies and all.
Oh.
So that is how I started. So initially I bought some 25-30 stocks. I bought Netflix, I bought Snapchat, XYZ, like all in a very small amount and all. Like one very great thing, like when I bought Meta, Facebook, the first stock I bought was for $100. Like Meta was that time at $99. Right now it is at $783 or something like that. Same with Netflix. Netflix I bought at $300. Right now it is at $1,300. And most of it, like I think that the whole Nvidia rally of it going from 10x, I was part of that. So couple of lucky fellow that I was part of a lot of rallies on this. And then yeah, that's how I like got more into US market and so much like got interested into it.
I wish ye luck sabko mile. The right timing. I think you picked the right time to enter the US market. Now, I think you said ki first of all you started investing in those companies where that like the products that you were using on a daily basis, and then later on you started to do research.
Correct.
So when it talks about like research, so what kind of research you do for US companies?
So so when I had invested in a lot of 30 companies and all, so I realized that the only way I can actually make a really good amount of money in a very numerical terms is either I have a very big corpus, like okay, I put 2 CR in a stock and that gives me 10-20% return. So you make 30-40 lakhs. Or the reverse, like you put 10 lakhs in a stock, but that stock goes up by 4-5-6%, like 4x, 5x or whatever it is. So these are the only two ways in which you can make like really money and all. So I realized the first one is not happening. Like I don't have like money and stuff and all. I'm like, yeah, I need to take my own salary and put it and like invest in all. So I took the second approach. The only challenge, the real challenge in the second approach is you really need to be confident on the kind of stocks you're going to put money on. So that's when I was like, okay, like then I started really doing research and all because ChatGPT was very new in 2023. And then I was really interested, and because all my friends are from tech background and also they work at FANG, and also they used to keep telling me that, okay, this stuff is coming, that stuff is coming and all. So I used to research a lot on, okay, what is happening into AI stuff and all. And then I started reading a lot of reports. When I say reports, I usually used to read reports from McKinsey, Bain and all. They're free, great resources available. You can just read it and try to connect the dots. So for example, my way of investing is like I pick a theme and I bet on that theme. For example, the next generation of like people who are going to come would have a way better luxury life than what we are currently living. So they would have a higher spends on food, they would have higher spends on dining, higher spends on like dress, clothes and all. So you can bet on that consumer behavior bet. Okay, like, okay, this is going to be a thing. Let's think more in what we can do. Maybe similar to YouTube, like the amount of YouTube videos that are getting produced. So against that, what are the editing cameras that are getting used, or the whole ecosystem behind that theme. So I pick that theme, I understand the whole ecosystem, and then take 2-3 top companies from each chain and then invest in that.
Oh, got it.
Like let me give you a very simple example. Right now, ChatGPT and all are like going crazy. Like everyone's going crazy, right? But now because everyone is investing a lot in AI, every company is investing in AI. But there are only very few companies who are actually focused on like the security of AI. So there is only 2-3 companies that I know in my knowledge, like CrowdStrike, Palo Alto, like companies that are focused more on like the security of कि यार इतना सारा data है तो इसको कैसे secure करें so that the attacks don't happen. So मतलब once you get that theme and deep dive, then like you get like so many stocks, and then उसके बाद you can just put some technical analysis कि अच्छा ये company grow कर रहा है नहीं कर रहा है, and then you can take your bet. तो उसमें you become very confident कि अच्छा ये मेरा research supports this, now I can actually just put money.
Interesting. So now, as you mentioned, कि जैसे ChatGPT की वो जो security, the companies that will work on a security are these 3 companies. Now, how are you able to find those companies? It's like available on internet. Do you think rely on the data or how?
Yeah. So now this is pure research, right? So like, itna easily getting information is not so easy. So what I usually do is, for that you need right set of people around you. Like for example, if I'm investing in some theme, I would have some people who are already working in that theme. Like for example, I right now I invest in 12 stocks to be precise. The whole 62-63 lakhs is divided in just in 12 stocks. Nvidia holding close to 28-29 lakhs. Okay. So now I have one person in each of the company and all, and then I usually talk to them, okay, what's happening, like, because I'm from a mechanical engineering background, I'm not from a computer science, and I don't understand prompt engineering, I don't understand a lot of couple of things, but because they are my friends, I'm like, boss, you explain me in layman terms what's happening it. So I get surface level ideas from everyone, and then I go and read a lot of reports, like I mentioned, like McKinsey. There are a lot of great companies that write good reports and all. And then I follow interviews given by Sam Altman. There are a couple of Sam Altman alone, because they are the one who think so much about AI. There are a lot of videos that are available in YouTube. So I try to connect dots from everything and then come to a conclusion. For example, like Tesla as a stock, right? Tesla is right now like at a $340 a stock something, but I'm very confident, like I'm like a biggest promoter of Tesla in my life. So I know by the fact that when it's 2027 they are going to release their humanoid robot as a product. Okay, so now there are only two things that will happen: either the stock will go crazily up, or it's going to be a like fatal fail. Okay, but the world is moving in that direction where like people are using a lot of robots and all.
So now I think interesting, your research part is covered, and I got an idea ki how do you research, and it really requires a lot of time. How are you actually able to take time for it?
Got it. So now that's a very interesting question. So one thing, when I think of all these things, right? So I have this very strong belief that, yeah, see, you'll have to sacrifice a couple of things to get somewhere. Like it could be anything. It could be stock market or something, you know. So like when I started really investing, I used to give a lot of time. Like I had this habit of reading at least 30-40 minutes every day. It could be any report, or now because we have ChatGPT and all tools, I had put some notifications that, okay, like if there's some news against Nvidia or something like that, I'll just get the news directly somewhere. And or there's a very good website called finviz.com. You can just go and you'll find, like, you can just select the stock and you'll get all the news related to it. I used to get a lot of kick. Like, I mean, I loved the fact that if I'm predicting something and it is happening. So when I predicted the first thing, when it happened, I was like really proud of it. And then it just multiplied. Like then my motive was not to make money. My motive was like, yeah, if I'm studying something, if I'm connecting some dots, ये bet मैं ले रहा हूँ, ये काम करना चाहिए. And honestly, it is also because the company that I work in, my job is same. Like, you know, like connecting the dots and thinking, okay, what 0 to 1 we can start next that can help better customer experience and all. So by default, मेरा जो company का mindset है asymmetrical thinking, वो like triple down हो गया in my all this research and all as well.
Interesting. So you are saying you learned a lot from your company also, the thinking part.
Yeah.
So on that part, I would love to know about your career journey. So from when did you actually start working?
Okay.
And where are you working right now?
Got it. So I did my mechanical engineering from NIT Raipur. I passed out in 2018. Like post college, I did not take the like college placement. I joined my friend's startup with a starting salary of I think 25,000 something exactly. I don't remember, but 25 was the hard cap is what I remember. I worked with him. It was more of a B2B sales job, proper B2B sales, like going into the field, talking to it. It was more of a edtech product. So my idea was, yeah, I need to learn how to get better at selling. Like I think the biggest skill I used to read a lot of books also. I think the biggest thing that people used to say, see, you should know how to convince people and all. Eventually you're convincing everyone every day, like, you know, by default. So that's how I started B2B sales. I was really bad at it. So in 3 months, I think 4 months, I tried my best and I was like, okay, this is not working. I left, I came back to Hyderabad. So now I took a break for 2 months and all. So I was like, okay, now it was very pressurizing for me because, you studied from a great college, you left college, and then you don't even take college placement, and now you are like, you know, you left the job and all. I was like, okay, shit, like the pressure was too much. So then that time I joined as an intern. So one of my seniors suggested, ki boss, like just do an internship and at the same time keep applying here and there. So that would reduce the pressure. And I was okay doing internship because they were paying me similar, like 25,000 पहले भी salary था, तो they were paying me 22,000 in internship. I was like कि ठीक यार, घर पे रह रहा हूँ 22,000 for a 22-year kid is okay. Like, so I took that. so that's Urban Company. Urban Company is like, so I worked there for 3.5 years. Like I took 3-4 promotions there, like really learned a lot of things, like learning, building zero from 1 to 10, like categories and all. I think I exited as a senior category manager there. Like, so I used to handle their appliances and AC business. Lot of great learnings that I had. UC was like, Urban Company was more of a linear, like too many pedigree people. So you become very formal, you learn a lot of things from them. And then after that, I joined Zomato. I think Zomato has been a very critical point in changing the way I think in life, because Zomato was pure non-linear, very asymmetrical in terms of how people think there, how people come up with things and all. Like if you'll see the way Zomato also hires, they hire their hiring strategy altogether is very different. So while I was working with Zomato, obviously that's where I built the asymmetrical thinking, like, okay, like remove linear path in life, how people actually make different paths work and all. Like because you were working with restaurant, you meet restaurant partners and all, that's when I realized, oh, like how people have made different career paths than what I came from. Because I came from a very formal background, I thought real life success is कि यार आप NIT से pass out जाओ, then you do MBA from IM and then you have a cushy job and all. But when I went to Zomato, I was like, no, I don't think like, this other side of the table that works. So that's where I learned too many things. I think that's when I learned scaling businesses from 10 to 100 and a lot of things and all. So I think because of that 10 to 100 skill set that I learned in Zomato is where all these things came into the place.
What is your target corpus and at what age you want to achieve the target corpus? Have you thought about it?
So like, to be really frank, I have it in a short term and a long term thing. Short term, like in the next 4 years, I want to reach that to a 5.5 CR something. I exactly don't know how I'm going to do it, but I'm very confident that I'm going to do it because I've done a lot of things in the past that has worked. So that is one thing. And obviously the long term is 10 years, which I'm really very ambitious about.
Okay. And the 10 years target is?
4x of what?
Okay,
Fine.
Interesting. So now coming to your corpus and everything, now how much you'll be going to invest? So for example, in past also, I would love to know how much you have been investing. And now in future also, what will be like a SIP amount, like monthly investment?
So I'll tell you a very really interesting story. So when I was in college, my roommate, he's Jay. So he's a like great. Right now he does stock trading and all. So that time in 2015-16 is when he was the one who figured out, okay, I want to invest money in Bitcoin. This is we in college, broke, nothing. And I remember he telling me, bro, like I think there's something called Bitcoin. And that time when he was buying Bitcoin, it was like I think 3 lakhs, 4 lakhs something. Okay. He's like, bro, like just give me some money. We'll put money, pool, and see if it works. We'll actually have some fun and all. And then it literally went. I think in 2017 is when Bitcoin started booming like crazily. Like no one knew what Bitcoin, Ethereum and all. So that guy, after 2018, like there was a massive stop, like because Indian government was like, oh, this is not legal, and then they cut. And then like we obviously made a lot of money. We had a lot of fun. हमारे college के सपने काफी हमने पूरा कर लिया था. But and then post that, when that legal thing happened, he gave me a really good tip. He's like, यार, like once you start making money, right? So if I'm not wrong, just to put in numbers, he made 3.5, 4 lakhs overall profits in that college time, and 3.5, 4 lakhs in 2016, right? And as a student, we had a great time of our life that time. So that time, what he did is he started putting that money into like SIPs and mutual funds already. So he told me like, boss, once you start earning, he told me like, yeah, bro, once you start earning money, irrespective of whatever it be, if you're earning 100 rupees, ensure that you are investing 30 rupees straight away, and then you have 70 rupees that you can spend and all. So that thing stick to me so hard that when I got my first salary of 25,000, straight away 30% I put into a ELSS tax stuff, and then I continued it. जैसे salary बढ़ते गया, I just increased the amount. वो 30-35 करते रहा, and now I think right now, if I'll just to be really frank, right now I invest more than 1.5 lakh on average every month. Like, so I've kept my expenses still very low. Like I don't do any impulsive buying and all. Like I've not done any impulsive buying yet, apart from buying a watch. Like rest, I think. Rest, I still invest a lot because I think once you have that corpus that multiplies by itself, you really don't need to think about anything anymore. Then the amount you get from your various sources, you can just spend it.
Yeah.
So I think that is one thing that really stick to me. Yeah, 30%. So till 2021, I used to do SIPs very heavily and all. But after 2021, I realized, okay, like now I need to diversify into stock market and all. But 2021 also I did not take very seriously. 2022 is when I started taking things very, very, very seriously in terms. So that is how I look at it.
An entire thing changed for you after 2022.
Yeah. I mean, I could have invested more, but I did a really big mistake in my life by buying a LIC policy.
Oh. You bought an LIC policy.
Yeah,
then
it's like...
Please tell.
Yeah, it's like every mom's starter pack.
Yeah.
That like you're living a life, so you need to have a LIC policy and all. So I remember in 2021, my mom was like, you're earning, so you need to have a LIC policy. And that time I was obviously not a lot into investing. I was more focused towards work, like working 12-13 hours a day and all. So that time, I think I was making somewhere around 7.5-8 lakhs is what I exactly remember. And I was paying a 3 lakh rupees premium for the LIC policy. So 3 lakh I was paying for the LIC policy, and then all the 30,000 mutual funds that I was doing. Not 30 exactly, I think it was 20,000 something, but I was left with only 15-20,000 monthly that I could spend for myself. So then I was like, so I did it. I was like, okay, that guy who was the LIC agent was a great salesman.
Is it relative?
Yeah.
That's
the reason. Like I could not say no. My mom could not say no. And I was like, shit, man. Like, so after 3 years, when I put 9 lakhs, and I was like, bro, because 3 years is when 2023 came, and I was like, dude, like, I'm making so much of returns here. Why am I even putting my money there and like killing my thing? Like, I was just making the match कि यार 3 लाख मैं हर साल अगले 15 साल के लिए दूंगा, वो उसके बाद वो 25 साल के बाद वो मेरे को देगा. I was like, this math is not making sense, and I just cut that amount. They just returned 30% of it, so I kind of lost like 5.5 lakhs. But I put all in Tesla. So Tesla was that time at, I don't know, 180, 190. So right now it's at 340.
Money back through Tesla.
So yeah, somehow I could recover some amount. But that's like the biggest
mistake.
Like very big mistake. Like
one thing that I've understood after talking to you is that you're good at predicting stuff.
Correct. Yeah.
So now tell our audience what's the next big thing that you are betting on.
So one is like, okay, let me just take an example, right? For example, if I'm using ChatGPT on a daily basis, right? So if I'm typing a prompt, the thing is, what are the 10 things that are happening at the back? You're typing something, and there are such 10 million people typing at the same time, or whatever it is, right? So now what happens at the back? So when you're typing, it is getting stored at somewhere. So now those are data warehouse storages. Data warehouse storages, there is Snowflake, there is Amazon, blah, blah, and all. So that becomes your investment pipeline. Secondly, because now LLMs, all this ChatGPT, Perplexity are already at the top. Now the bigger thing is how companies are going to advantage from applying AI. For example, if you'll see Adobe or Figma, right? People were not very used to using Figma or Adobe Photoshop. Photoshop, agar kisi ko seekhna tha, it was like a course that you have to do. Now you don't have to do a course. You can just type and you'll get the end result of whatever you want. Similarly with Canva and all, right? So I think the bigger thing that I personally feel that I'm going to actually invest is, one is the energy theme, because now the real power is कि boss अगर इतना सारा लोग AI use करे तो AI takes up a lot of energy. क्योंकि AI के लिए you are backing up with NVIDIA का semiconductor. वो NVIDIA का semiconductor को back करने के लिए you need energy. So now which companies are those companies that are going to work on increasing the efficiency of energy distribution is one thing that I personally feel that energy is going to be a big thing, because इतना ज़्यादा tech हम use करने वाले तो उसके लिए energy की ज़रूरत है. For example, just to give an example, Palantir is one US stock. Like no one believed. All of my FANG friends were like, bro, like I don't know where you are investing. And Palantir, if you still see, right, it has a only 20% buy, 80% is a sell by analyst and all. So that time is when I put money in Palantir, because I did a research that I realized, like if everyone is talking about AI, right? For example, if I'm a manufacturing plant who is manufacturing water or like packaged bottles and all, how do I understand AI? How can I implement that in AI? So that's when I realized, okay, Palantir is that one company that is investing कि यार boss, you become a client, जितना AI का setup है मैं करके दूंगा. You just pay me the money. So that time I realized Palantir is the only one company doing all those stuff and no one else was doing it. So I was like, okay, like this makes sense to me. And then when I bought Palantir, it was at $25. Like, right, $25. But I put very small amount because I was being very conservative and all. I put like $3,000, $4,000 by this time, but that $25 is right now at 175 something in the last span of 6-7 months, right? So second, like right now everyone is aware of agentic AI कि यार आप अपना एक खुद का क्लोन बना लो, वो आपके लिए काम करेगा. Which are the companies that are actually helping build that infrastructure for that agentic AI? जैसे Salesforce हो गया, Microsoft, all the M7 companies are working. M7 are like FANG, Microsoft, and all the top 7 tech companies and all. So they are working on this agentic AI. Third, I personally feel is कि physical AI part. Physical AI right now, I can tell ChatGPT कि यार मेरे को ये चाहिए. They'll give that result to me. But now I can tell a robot that, hey bro, you know what, like just go do this stuff for me, and it will do that thing. Now that is physical AI implementation. Right now it is in a small scale, but if you say Tesla's biggest mode that they are focusing right now is into proper physical AI transmission and all. Physical AI is like humanoid robot, self-driving cars, and a lot of things that will be heavy AI driven and all. So I think these are the 3 big themes that I in my own understanding I think is there. And fourth, a very long term bet I think is कि understanding how the consumer behavior is changing. Like for example, how AI is for tech, वैसे protein is for food industry and all. Like if you'll see every other brand is putting protein into the thing. Like now, how do you like tap into that segment going forward? Like vegan is going to be a new concept that people are trying to follow. Are there some really good brands that are innovative enough to, support such kind of things? Yeah, so I think these are my 3-4 big themes that I'm betting it. This is apart from all my investments that I've already done.
Yeah.
So I'll like maybe give you that PDF that actually made me this 35-40 lakhs in US markets. So I remember one PDF that exactly told what is going to happen in the next 4 years. And just that one PDF, like that one page out of that 340 page made me decide where I have to put all my investments.
Wow. So you can share with us and we can put in our description link?
Yeah. It's a UBS report. It's a UBS, it's a offline available report or online available report. Only I'll just share that link. So that's where I read everything and then I read it. So that's what I now think, right? Like there are so many resources available online. You can just read it, but you have to read it with dedication, try to understand and connect the dots, and then you know exactly where to put money. Like
yeah. So I got some secret hacks from you. One of the interesting thing that what I really like about your research part is it doesn't sound very technical. Like जब भी कोई बोलता है P पढ़ो, debt, मतलब बहुत सारी चीजें आप technical fundamental analysis करो. But I think in your research, what I found is that even I can also do it.
Yeah.
It feels so easy. I mean, it requires a lot of time, but it is not like very technical. It doesn't sound technical. You just need to find the right theme, the companies, and then talk to a few people if you can get, and some Jugaads.
So I'll tell you why this is the thing, right? Because I've been a senior business analyst and like hardcore data, like I mean, like हर problem को data के through देख के solve किया. After a point I realized कि boss like data gives you a very like one-sided view of things. Like for example, okay, like data tells you what happened in the past, but it's not going to tell what's going to happen in the future. It will help you obviously understand what is happening in the trend and all. Because I was such a heavy data-driven guy, I was like, yaar, I want to build my hypothesis first. I make a whole tree. मेरे ये hypothesis है, and then back it with data and then use it. So I don't do the reverse. So I first do my analysis. क्या ठीक है, मतलब consumer behavior is a trend. जो मेरे को लग रहा है कि यार ठीक है, Gen Zs will buy more of fast fashion. They'll consume H&M, Zara more than Levi's or something like that, right? तो उसको now अपना खुद के hypothesis बनाऊंगा. I'll think a lot on it, try to connect dots and maybe make a big list of stuff. And then I'll get into data. कि अच्छा, like H&M, are they growing year on year? Like, are their revenues growing faster? Is Zara doing well? or so and so. So technical for me is last. Fundamental for me is the first priority. I think 85% time I'll spend in fundamentals and then 15% in tech, because at the end of the day I want to sleep peacefully. यार मतलब ऐसे नहीं कि पैसा डाल के मैं stress में जी रहा हूँ. Like my funda is like if I'm putting in some stock in money, like I can just sleep peacefully. Like कि with that conviction कि boss गया तो गया, नहीं गया तो भी like whatever it is, like वो ऐसा stress में नहीं जी सकता मैं तो.
So yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much. It was really an insightful session and I really enjoyed a lot.
Thank you so much. Yeah, like you've been a great host.
Thanks. Yeah.